Hello my dear students, welcome to the class. So on our last class I have completed up to question number 11 of exercise 8.1 and 12 I gave you as homework. So later on I thought that you may not be able to solve the sum, so let me do this one for you. Okay, so question number 12, you see ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to CD and AD is equals to BC. You have to show that these angles are equal, and for first two, and for third it you have to show that the triangles are similar, and for Roman number 4 you have to show that the diagonal AC is equals to diagonal BC. So only the first one is little confusing, the Roman number 1, but others you can solve very easily. You see the figure. So this is the figure. Okay, ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to CD and AD is equals to BC. AD is equals to BC. It is given in the question, and these two lines are parallel. Okay, AD is equals to BC. The measurement, the length of AB is equals to the length of BD. Okay, so you have to solve this one. You have to show that angle A is equals to angle B. Okay, so first one, Roman number 1. So everything though it is given here that AB has been produced to point E, so no need to write anything. Right, given AB is parallel to DC. AB is parallel to DC. Okay, so I can write, if AB is parallel to DC, if this part is parallel to this one, then this whole line is also parallel to that one. So in place of AB I can write AE is parallel to DC. AB is parallel to DC, or AB and AE is the same line. Okay, so I can say that AE is parallel to DC. Okay, AE is parallel to DC. Also, okay, also I can write that AD is parallel to CE also. AD is parallel to CE. This is also given in the question. So this line is drawn in such a way that this one is parallel to that one, this one is parallel to that one. Okay, so hint it is given here, you can see that. Okay, let me write the hint first of all. That means it is not given in the question, so you write it like this, that before starting the question you write, let AB be produced to E, let AB be produced to E, let AB be produced to E, and draw CE parallel to AD. Okay, you write this line. It is not given in the question, so I thought that it was in the figure, so I thought that it is directly given in the question, but it is given in the hint part. That means you have to write this thing. So let AB be produced to point E and AD is parallel to CE, or CE is parallel to AD. So from there what I can write, that CE is parallel to AD, CE is parallel to AD. Okay, CE is parallel to AD. So there you can write construction. By construction you can write, we have got no from here, so this is from the construction. Okay, so CE is parallel to AD, CE is parallel to AD. So if in a triangle, if these two lines are parallel and these two lines are parallel to each other, that means ABCD, ADCE is a parallelogram. So I can write therefore AECD is a parallelogram. Okay, AECD is a parallelogram. Okay. So if AECD is a parallelogram, that means the opposite sides will be equal. Opposite side will be equal. So I can write AD equals to C. AD equals to C. Opposite sides of parallelogram. Okay. AD equals to C. Okay. But if you see in the question what is given, AD is equals to BC, AD is equals to BC. So in place of AD I can write BC. It is given in the question. AD is equals to BC. Since AD is equals to BC. AD is equals to BC. So BC is equals to C. Okay. So if BC is equals to C, BC this side is equals to this side. If BC is equals to C, then it is this triangle is an isosceles triangle, and in an isosceles triangle if two sides are equal, then this base angles are also equal. Then these base angles are equal. So you can write therefore in triangle CBE, the B is CBE. In triangle CBE, I can write angle, since BC is equals to CE, so I can write angle CBE equals to BEC. Angles opposite to equal sides are equal. Angles opposite to equal sides are equal. So angle CBE is equals to angle BEC. Angle CBE is equals to angle BEC. Okay. Now you see here, if I take that ABE as a straight line, ABE as a straight line, then BC is a ray on it. That means this angle and these angles are linear pair. These two angles are linear pair, and sum of these two angles will be equals to 180 degree. Sum of the two angles will be equals to 180 degree. Since angle ABC plus angle CBE is equals to 180 degree, since linear pair, okay, ABC plus angle CBE is equals to 180 degree, linear pair. And one more thing you see, in a parallelogram, the adjacent angle, the sum of the adjacent angle is equals to 180 degree. If this is a parallelogram, then sum of this adjacent angle will be 180 degree. This angle plus this angle 180 degree. This angle plus that angle also equals to 180 degree. Okay, sum of the adjacent angle is equals to 180 degree. So they are one angle A, they are angle E. That means both of them will be adjacent angle. Okay. And angle DA angle DAE plus angle DAE plus angle CEA equals to 180 degree. 180 degree. There you write, since adjacent angles of parallelogram, adjacent angles of parallelogram, okay, adjacent angles of parallelogram. So adjacent angles of parallelogram are supplementary. So angle DAE equals to angle CEA equals to 180 degree, equals to 180 degree. Now okay, DAE, let it be. You just change one thing. DAE, CEA, CEA and CEB are the same thing, so I can write angle CEB is equals to 180 degree. Okay, equals to 180 degree. Give it as equation number 1, this one is equation number 2, this one is equation number 1, this one is equation number 2, this one is equation number 2. Okay, so from 1 and 2 you see both of them are equals to 180 degree, both of them are equals to 180 degree. So I can write from 1 and 2, from 1 and 2 angle ABC plus angle CBE is equals to angle DAE plus angle CEB. Okay, CEB. Okay, both of them are equals to 180 degree. I can write it. So you see here angle CBE is equals to angle BEC. CBE is equals to angle अच्छा CEB written no. अच्छा it is same. Angle CBE, so this one also CEB it should be, you make it correct here, CEB, same thing actually, we are talking about the same angle, just I am changing the order, okay, so that you can relate these two. Okay, so you write CEB, so then now CEBC will be equal, no, there you make it CEB, okay, in this equation, equation not this part. Okay, so both of them will be in the same order, BEC or CEB it is same, but I have just changed it so that you can or else you will get confused, you may take this one as a different angle. Okay, so angle ABC plus angle CBE I can write as angle CEB equals to angle DAE plus angle CEB. There you can write, since angle CBE is equals to angle CEB, CBE is equals to angle CEB. So CEB from both sides cancelled. So they are left angle ABC equals to angle DAE. So ABC, that means angle A, and ABC means that is angle B, and DAE means angle A. DAE means angle A. So angle B is equals to angle A. Question, I think you have to prove angle A is equals to angle B. So you can write it as, therefore angle A is equals to angle B. Angle A is equals to angle B. Okay, next one, you have to prove that angle C is equals to angle D. So now I can erase this one. Angle A is equals to angle B, we have proved. Okay, so now let us move to the next one, Roman number 2. What is given? You have to show that angle C is equals to angle D. Angle C is equals to angle, yes, angle D. So okay, let me draw the figure once again. I erased it. A B C D, A B C D. So this is the figure. Okay, so now you see Roman number 2, you have to show that angle C is equals to angle D. Angle C is equals to angle D. Okay, so here it is given, since AB is parallel to CD, it is given in the question, and AD is a transversal if I take, and AD is a transversal, and AD is a transversal if AB is parallel to CD and AC is a AD is a transversal, then these two angles are supplementary, these two angles are co-interior angles, and if you add them it will be equals to 180. So I can write, therefore angle A plus angle D equals to 180 degree. 180 degree since co-interior angle. since co-interior angles, and we know that the sum of the co-interior angle is equals to 180 degree. Okay. Similarly, I can show that angle B plus angle C is equals to 180 degree. So similarly, same it will be co-interior angles, angle B plus C equals to 180. So both of them are equals to 180. So I can write, you give it as earlier 1 2 given, no, you give it as Roman number like this, question 3 and 4, or you can give it for this one also 1 2. Actually in first question you have given no Roman 1 and 2, now you give 3 and 4. So angle, therefore from 3 and 4 we get angle A plus angle D is equals to angle B plus angle C. Angle A plus angle D is equals to angle B plus angle C. So we have proved earlier just now that angle A and B are same. So I can write, since angle A is equals to angle B. Okay, angle A and B are same, just now we have proved. So angle A cancel. So angle D equals to angle C. Angle D is equals to angle C. Okay. Now Roman number 3, you have to prove that these two triangles are similar. Roman number 3, you have to prove that triangle ABC is similar to triangle BAD. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle BAC. You have to show this one, no? Triangle ABC is triangle ABC is similar to triangle BAD. Where is triangle ABC? Triangle ABC, that means you have to make this one. Let me join it. So you have to show that this triangle is equals to triangle BAD. That means this one. So you have to draw this one. So you have to show that this triangle is equals to this one. That means this one means this whole one, this one means this whole one. Okay. So you write like this: in triangle ABC and triangle BAD. In triangle ABC and triangle BAD, we have AB equals AB, so you cannot, AB is the common side. If you see this, actually you see here, I am drawing this one so that you can see. These are the two triangles, no? AB, this one D and this one C. So AB is the common side, so I can write AB is equals to BA, or again you can write AB common. Okay, AB equals to BA, it is common. Then BC and AD are same, it is given. BC is equals to AD. BC is equals to AD. Okay. And angle, yes, angle ABC and these two angles, so we have proved now these two angles are equal. These two angles are equal. Angle A is equals to angle B. So I can write, and angle B, you write it like this: ABC is equals to angle BAD. Angle BAD or DAB, whatever you write. So we have proved this one earlier. Okay. So if there are two sides and one angles are equal, then I can say that these two triangles are congruent by SAS congruency. Okay, by SAS congruency. And Roman number 4, you have to prove that diagonal AC is equals to diagonal BD. So you can write, since these two triangles are equal, that means their corresponding parts also will be equal. Therefore AC will be equals to BD, CPCT. Therefore AC will be equals to BD. AC will be equals to BD. So you can write AC is a diagonal. So diagonal diagonal BD. Diagonal AC is equals to diagonal BD. Finished. So you see some examples are there. Question number, yes, example number 1, so that the each angle of a rectangle is a right angle. You just see here it is done very nicely. You have to relate the things. It's, in this triangle one angle is given, in this rectangle one angle is given 90 degree. You have to show that the others are also 90. Okay, so you just how it is given, you just relate it, you will understand it. Example number 2 also very easy. So many sum we have done like this. You have to show this one. Okay, then example number 3, ABC is an isosceles triangle and BC is the bisector of angle. Okay, this one also no problem is there. Two questions are there. First of all, you have to show that these two angles are equal, and another one you have to show that ABCD is a parallelogram. So this one also easily you can do. Okay. Example 4, 5, if you want you can leave, later on in class we will discuss. Okay, when the class will resume. Okay, now let us move to example number 6. You practice one. There also it is very easy. You see here, just using the theorem it has been done. So very nicely in 2-3 lines it is finished. If you see, you can understand. Okay, if the lines are parallel, we know how to use the theorem. We just use it and we'll find the answer. Okay, so now the very important theorem, midpoint theorem. Okay, 8.6, you can see theorem, it is there, midpoint theorem. So you need to prove this one, very important theorem for exam point of view also, and when you will go to class 10 also, you need this theorem to solve some of the sums in chapter triangles. Okay, so exercise 8.2, the first theorem, you see midpoint theorem. It is like this, that the line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and equal to half of it, and it is also equal to half of the third side. Okay, so you write midpoint theorem, we are proving, so you write it, prove that the line segment joining the midpoints, very important. Okay, line segment joining the midpoint, midpoints of any two sides, line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side, and equal to half of it, So you want to prove this one, the line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and is equals to half of it. So if I draw a triangle like this, you see here, I am drawing a triangle ABC. If ABC is a triangle and if there is a point which is the midpoint and there is another one, so if D and D are the midpoints, of the triangle, then the theorem says that DE is parallel to AC. If D is the midpoint of side AB and E is the midpoint of side AC, then I can say that DE will be parallel to BC. And what will be the length of BC? It will be half of this one. If this one is 3 centimeter, this one will be 6 centimeter. That means half of BC will be DE. Okay, you just keep in mind the half of BC will be is equals to DE. Okay, so we have to prove this one. So you write, we'll start the proof. So what is given? So let you write, let okay, let me go from the book. So let ABC, let a triangle ABC, in which D and E are the midpoint, in which D and D are the midpoints of AB and AC, of AB and AC, of AB and AC respectively. Okay, of AB and AC respectively. So what we will do for this, we need a construction. So I will increase E up to a point F and then I will join it. Okay, so for this one we need a construction. Let us join DE. For this one I am doing, let us join DE and produce it. And produce it to F. Let us join DE and produce it to F, and produce it to F. Draw DF parallel to BC. DF parallel to BC. Draw DF parallel to it will be we have to show no these are parallel. So you write like this: draw CF parallel to yes, sorry, this is parallel to this line, not that one. The CF will be parallel to AB. So draw CF parallel to AB. Draw CF parallel to AB. So up to this much it is given. So now we will start from proof. So I am erasing this one. So you write to prove. What I have to prove? That DE is equals to half of BC. DE is equals to half of BC, and DE is parallel to BC, and DE is parallel to BC. So these two I have to prove. Okay, these two I have to prove. So now you see what is there. If I take triangle this one ADE and triangle this one, these two. So let me first of all make these two similar. So in triangle ADE proof, you write in triangle ADE, in triangle ADE and triangle CFE. ADE and CFE we have. In triangle ADE and triangle CFE we have. Okay, so you see this line, this D is the midpoint of AB, E is the midpoint of AC, E is the midpoint of AC. So AE of this triangle, AE will be equals to C. This is the midpoint. That means this line is divided into two equal parts. So AE will be equals to C. So first one I am getting AE is equals to C. AE is equals to CE. You can write it as given, or you can write it since D is the midpoint, since E is the midpoint of AC. Okay. So it is given in the question that D and E are the midpoint. That means it is given. So AE equals to C, and these two angles, if you see, these two are vertically opposite angle, and angle AED is equals to angle CEF, vertically opposite angle. Okay, AED is equals to angle CEF, vertically opposite angle. Okay, and one more thing, it is given in the question that this line is parallel to this one, this line is parallel to this one. if this line is parallel to that one, and if AC is a transversal, then this angle is equals to this one, alternate angle. So here this angle will be equals to that one, and reason will be AB or AD, you can write it is same. It is the same line. If I write up to AD or AB, it is same. So since AD is parallel to CF and this AC is a transversal, so you write like this, and angle DAE is equals to angle angle FCE. Okay, DAE is equals to angle FC. You can write your reason, since AB is parallel to CF and AC is a transversal. Since AB is parallel to CF and AC is a transversal, so that means these two angles are equal because they are alternate angles. So if these three criteria, we have got two sides, two angles and one side, so I can say that triangle ADE is congruent to triangle CFE. Okay, CFE by you see here how many, two angles and one side, so by angle side angle criteria. Okay, so what we have done, I have proved that these two triangles are congruent. So if these two triangles are congruent, then I can say that this one AD is parallel to AD will be equals to CF. Okay, so I can write AD is equals to CF. These two triangles are congruent, that means this side will be equals to this one. Okay, AD is equals to CF. Okay, and one thing you see, what is given that D is the midpoint. Okay, you see here one thing, D is the midpoint of this side AB, that means AD is equals to BD. So in place of AD I can write BD equals to CF. So you can write here, since D is the midpoint, of AB, comma AD is equals to BD. Okay, BD equals to CF. In place of AD I am writing BD because AD and BD are same, because D is the midpoint of the side AB. Okay, so if these two sides are equal, the opposite sides are equal and they are parallel also. Opposite sides are equal, and BD is opposite sides are equal and parallel. BD is equals to CF and BD is equals to CF. Okay, BD is equals to, okay, let me write, then I will say. They are earlier, then also will not understand. So BD is equals to CF, and also I can write, also what is there, that earlier I have shown that BD is parallel to CF. It is there. Okay, by construction we have shown BD is parallel to CF. Okay, it was given now. CF is parallel to AB, and AB and AD are same line. Sorry, AB and DB are the same line. So I can say that DB is parallel to AC. If you want, you can write here. You may forget it. You write there by construction. Okay. So that means BDCF is a parallelogram. BCDF is a parallelogram. BCFD you can write. BCFD is a parallelogram. BCFD is a parallelogram. Okay. So if it is a parallelogram, DF will be equals to BC, DF will be equals to BC, and DF will be equals to BC, and DF is parallel to BC. If it is a parallelogram, then DF will be equals to BC and DF is parallel to BC. Okay. So DF, in place of DF I am writing half of DF. They are writing, I am writing half of BC. Okay. Half of BC, and this part it is same. Let it be DE parallel to BC. DE parallel to BC. I am multiplying both sides by half. Okay. So half of DF is equals to half of BC, and D equals D. DF is parallel to BC. DF is parallel to BC. Okay, DF, you see where is DF? Yes, this one. So DF and DE are the same line. DF, if DF is parallel to BC, that means DE also will be parallel to BC. So in place of this one DF, I am writing DE is parallel to BC. DE is parallel to BC. Okay. DE is parallel to BC. If in place of DF I am writing D, this is the same line. If I say this line is parallel to this one, and if I remove half part also, then also it will remain the same thing. Okay, so these two lines will be parallel. So here also the case is same. Okay, so what I have written, DF is parallel to, DF is equals to half of BC. So half of DF, half of DF. So half of DF, it is DE, and half of BC, it will be same, half of BC, and you write this part same, and DE is parallel to BC, and there you write the reason like this. Okay, I am writing the reason here. You write, since DE is equals to EF is equals to half of DF. DE equals to EF is equals to half of DF. Okay, so now we have proved this one, that this line is equals to the half of this one, and it is also parallel. How I have written DF is equals to, whether it is DF or DE, it is the same line. So in place of DF I have written DE. Okay, there you be careful. In place of DF I have written DE, and then this part we have shown that half of DF it is DE, and half of BC it will be same. Okay, so we have proved the theorem. Now let us move to the exercise. You practice this one very nicely. Exercise 8.3, 8.2, you see question number 1. These all questions are somewhat little lengthy. Okay, you see, you try to understand. ABCD is a quadrilateral in which PQRS are the midpoints of the side AB, midpoints of the side AB, BC and AB, BC, CD and DA. AC is the diagonal. Show that. Okay, you have to show this thing. So let me draw the figure first of all. What is given here? So it is given like this. The figure is like this. These are the midpoints. These are the midpoints. It is given S, A, P, B, Q, C, R, D. A, B, C, D and S, P, Q, R, S. Okay, and AC is a diagonal given. So let me write it like this. Okay. So you see here, this is the figure. I have to prove that SR is parallel to AC, SR is parallel to AC, and SR is equals to half of AC. So no problem, very easily I can show this one. Just now we have read the theorem. Okay. So you write given P as a, what is given? Okay, let me write it from the book directly. So given ABCD is a quadrilateral, you write it, okay. Given ABCD is a quadrilateral in which PQRS are the midpoints of the side AB, BC, CD and DA, okay. You write this one, and AC is the diagonal, okay. You write up to this much, then you start Roman number 1. Okay, Roman number 1, what I have to prove? That triangle, SR is equals to half of AC. So SR and AC, these are on this part, so I will take triangle ADC. So in triangle ACD, you write in triangle ACD. In triangle ACD, we have, you write, I am taking this triangle. So in triangle ACD, it is given in the question, S is the midpoint. S is the midpoint of AD and R is the midpoint. R is the midpoint of DC. S is the midpoint of AD and R is the midpoint of DC. Okay. So you see here, it is given in the question that these things are there. I have not written from my own. This is there in the question. Okay. Now you see, I can use here the formula. We know that if I join the midpoints of the two sides of a triangle, then it is equals to the third side, equals to half of the third side and parallel to the third side also. So you write like this, since the line segment joining the midpoints, since the line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides, of any two sides of a triangle, is parallel to the third side, The theorem I am writing is parallel to the third side, and half of it. I am writing this time, okay. When I will do the other sum, okay, I will just say this one, you write it this same line in other also. In question, one question will be there in exam, so you just try to write it, okay. Don't directly write the things, okay. So since the line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it, so I can write SR will be equals to half of AC and SR will be parallel to AC. SR is equals to half of AC and SR is equals to parallel AC. Very easy sum. This thing though it is there in the question. This one is the theorem. Directly I can write the theorem. So this one we have to prove. So we have proved. So for Roman number 2, you have to prove that PQ is equals to SR. Roman number 2, PQ is equals to SR, you have to prove. So in triangle again I am taking, now I am taking this triangle, in triangle ABC. I have to show that this one is equals to that one, okay. So first of all let me show that, let me take this triangle, okay. One thing you see, in first one art I have shown that this one is parallel to this one, okay. Now I am taking this triangle, I will show that this line is parallel to this one, okay. And we know the theorem, if this line is parallel to this one and these two lines are also parallel, then I can say that this one is also parallel. If three lines are given, it is given that if this line is parallel to this one and that line is parallel to this line again, so I can say that the first line and the third line are also parallel, okay. So I am trying to use this one. So same way in triangle ABC we have P and Q are the midpoints. P and Q are the midpoints of side AB and BC. Okay, so according to the theorem, I can write that therefore PQ will be equals to half of AC and PQ is parallel to AC. PQ is parallel to half of AC and PQ is parallel to AC. And also we have proved that what we have proved that SR is equals to half of AC and SR is parallel to AC. SR is parallel to AC. Okay. So from 1 and 2 you give one, this one is Roman number 1, this one and 2. So Roman 1, 2 they are to given. So you write it equals 1 and this one is 2. So from 1 and 2 you can write. What do you have to prove? You have to prove that PQ is equals to SR. So I can write PQ is equals to SR. If these two lines are equal, then I can write no, PQ will be equals to SR. This part and this part, it is the same. So I can write PQ is equals to SR. Sorry, parallel not. I have to show that these sides are equal. So I have shown. Okay. Now Roman number 3. I have to show that it is a parallelogram. This PQRS is a parallelogram. No problem. Side some many things. So we proved. So just we'll use this thing and we'll find it. So Roman number 3, what is there in triangle ABC? In triangle ABC, P and Q are the midpoints. P and Q are the midpoints of side AB and BC. P and Q are the midpoints of side AC and BC. So I can write PQ is equals to half of AC and PQ is parallel to AC. PQ is parallel to AC. Again, in triangle ADC, S and R are the mid. In triangle ADC, S and R are the midpoints of side AD and DC. AD and DC. Okay. So again I can write SR is equals to half of AC and SR is parallel to AC. SR is parallel to AC. So equation 1 to earlier given. So this one you give as 2 and this one you give as 3. Okay. So from 2, this one you give as 3 and this one you give as 4. So from 3 and 4 I can write. Now in a parallel I have to show that this is a parallelogram. That means I have to show that these lines are parallel. So from this to what I am getting? I am getting that PQ is equals to SR. PQ is equals to SR. These two parts are same. And what I am getting here? PQ is parallel to PQ is parallel to AC. Again AC is parallel to SR. So this one also I am getting. PQ is parallel to PQ is equals to SR and PQ is parallel to AC is parallel to SR. Okay, these two have a common. This one is common for both. So I am written this one side is parallel to this one and again this side is parallel to this one. So you see here I can write imply, but therefore you can write therefore PQ is equals to SR and what I need, I don't need AC, so I will write PQ is parallel to SR. So PQ is equals to SR and PQ is parallel to SR. So we know that in a quadrilateral, if one pair of opposite sides are equal and they are parallel to each other, then we can say that it is a parallelogram. So here also one pair of sides are equal and they are parallel to each other. So I can say that it is a parallelogram. I can say that it is a parallelogram. So you write like this: since one pair of opposite sides are one pair of opposite sides, one thing you write in PQRS, in quadrilateral PQRS are equal and parallel. So PQRS is a parallelogram. So one pair of opposite sides in quadrilateral PQRS are equal and parallel. So therefore ABCD is a PQRS is a parallelogram. So this is the end of this question. So now let us move to question number 2. ABCD is a rhombus and ABCD is a rhombus and PQRS are the midpoints of the side AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. Show that the quadrilateral PQRS is a rectangle. Okay, let me draw. You want to show this is a rectangle, okay? It is similar like this one, but just you want to show that the angles are also 90 degree. Everything similar. So ABCD is a rhombus given, and you have to show that PQRS are the midpoints of the side AB, BC, CD, DA respectively. Show that the PQRS is a rectangle. Okay, I am drawing the figure in this way, okay, so that you can see that middle one is a rectangle, then it will be easy for you to. So these are the midpoints. It will look like a rectangle, then I can easily solve it, okay. I have drawn the figure like this. If you want, you can do it like this also, but if you draw it like this, then you can say, see also this is a rectangle, and it will give some positive vibes also. A, B, C, D I have given, and what are the midpoints given? You see, midpoints started from A, B, so it is P, Q, R, F. So this one P, this one Q, this one R, this one F. So this is the figure, okay, and I am drawing a diagonal AC because I need this one. Okay, so this is our figure. You see here, question number 2. So you write like this, given PQRS are the midpoints of the side PQ, that is AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. Okay, given PQRS at the midpoints of the side ABCD, DA respectively. So we have to prove that PQRS is a rectangle. So let us join AC. So I have joined the diagonal AC. So if I join the diagonal AC, then ABC is a triangle and ADC is also a triangle, and in the triangle PQ we are getting midpoint, so directly I can use this thing. So in triangle ABC, therefore in triangle ABC, P and Q are the midpoints of in triangle ABC, P and Q are the midpoints of side AB and BC. Okay, you keep it AB and BC. So if it is like this, then what I can write? I can write PQ is equals to half of AC and PQ is parallel to AC. This one we know. This is our theorem. Okay, PQ is parallel to half of AC and PQ is equals to half of AC and PQ is parallel to half of AC. Also, okay, I am erasing this part. Okay. Also for that triangle, also in triangle ABD, also it will be same. Also in triangle ABD, S and R are the midpoints. S and R are the midpoints of side S, so it is AD, and AD and DC or CD you can write, AD and CD respectively. Okay, so again I can write, therefore SR will be equals to half of AC and SR is parallel to AC. So equation number 2. Equation number 2. Okay, so we have got two equations. So from this we can write like earlier, same like the earlier sum, just which one we have done. So from 1 and 2, this one is 1, this one is 2. So from 1 and 2 we get, what do we get? PQ is equals to SR and PQ is equals to SR and you can write SR is parallel to AC is parallel to PQ. So you can write PQ is parallel to PQ is equals to SR and SR is parallel to PQ. PQ is parallel to SR and SR is parallel to PQ. Achha, this one though it will be in this side, no? This is equation 1. Same thing, just I am making it. So PQ is equals to SR and PQ is parallel to SR. So this one up to this much, so earlier also in earlier sum also we have done. So after doing this, but what we have got, that yes it is a parallelogram, but here what we have got, that yes it is a parallelogram, we can prove that it is a parallelogram. Now if it is a parallelogram, then if I just prove that if one angle is equals to 90 degree, then I can show that all the other angles are also 90 degree. This is the basic difference between a rectangle and a parallelogram. It is also same, the opposite sides are also same in case of rectangle also, in case of parallelogram also. The sides are parallel to each other. Yes, in case of rectangle also it is same, in case of parallelogram also. Only the difference is that in diagonal the difference is, and but here we don't need the diagonal, so only the difference in case of angle it is that in case of rectangle it is 90 degree and in case of parallelogram it varies. Okay, so that is you can write like earlier, one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel. One pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel. So I can say that PQRS is a parallelogram. But I don't have to prove. I have to prove more than that. I have to show that each angle is equals to 90 degree. Then only I can say that in a parallelogram, if each angle is equals to 90 degree, then I can say that it is it will be this rectangle. Okay. So up to this much it is okay. We have proved that it is a parallelogram. Now only just I have to show that angle is 90 degree, and we know that in a parallelogram, if angle is 90 degree, each angle is 90 degree, then it is a rectangle. Okay. Okay, this one, there you do one thing, you give this one as point E. I need this one as point E you give. And one thing you do, rather than writing these angles and this thing, I am marking this one. 1 angle, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, and this one as angle 5. You see, this one I have given 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and this one is 5. Okay, this one is 5. So I'll take these two triangle and I'll try to relate. Okay, something you will understand. Let me do 1 or 2 line. So you see here. Now in triangle ERC and ECQ I am taking. In triangle ERC and EQC I am taking these two triangles. Okay, what I have done, I am drawing it little bigger so that you can see here. You may get confused. So only I am doing the upper part. Okay, so R is there, then E is there, then Q is there. I have given this one as 1, this one as 2, this one as 3, this one as 4, and this angle as 5. Okay, this one this thing I have done. So you may get confused, so I have drawn it here so that you can see. So now you see one thing, if these two are triangles, so I have to show that these two triangles are similar. So angle 1 will be equals to angle 2. Why? Because It is a ABCD is a rhombus, and in a rhombus the diagonal bisect each angle. So AC is the diagonal. AC is the diagonal of the rhombus ABCD. Angle 1 will be angles to the diagonal of the rhombus bisect each angle. The diagonals, since the diagonals of a rhombus bisect each angle. Okay, angle 1 equals to angle 2. How we have written? The diagonals of a rhombus bisect each angle, bisect each angle. Okay. So now angle 1 equals to angle 2 given. Then I can write, you see here, CE is the common side of both the triangle. CE is the common side. There is C, there is E. This side is common for both. Okay. So CE is equals to C common. CE is equals to CE. Okay. This is common. And I can write CR and QC also same, because DC is the side and this is the midpoint. That means this part and this part equal, this part and this part equal, and in a rhombus all the sides are equal, so that means the midpoint, the parts also will be equal. So I can write CR is equals to EQ. CR is equals to EQ, and reason you write, since each is equal to half of the side of rhombus. Each side is equals to the half of the side of rhombus. Each equals to the each is equals to the half of the side of rhombus. Okay. So D and C, R and this R and Q are the midpoints of the side. R and D are the midpoints of the side CD and BC. Okay. So now what we have shown? We have shown that these two triangles are similar. So triangle ERC is similar to, congruent to triangle EQC, and postulate will be angles side, okay, by SAS. Okay. So now if these two triangles are congruent, then I can write angle 3 and angle 4 are also equal. By simplicity I can write, no, angle 3 will be equals to angle 4. Angle 3 will be equals to angle 4. Okay. But if you see here that this is a straight line, no, and this one is drawn like this, angle 3 given here, angle 4 given here, so that means angle 3 and 4 are linear pairs. So angle 3 and 4 are linear pair. So you can write, since angle 3 plus angle 4 is equals to 180 degree, there you can write, since linear pair, angle 3 equals to angle 4 is equals to 180 degree, and angle 3 is equals to angle 4. So I can write angle 3 plus angle 3 is equals to 180. Okay. Angle 3 plus angle 3 is equals to 180. Or you just write it directly, no problem is there. Angle 3 plus angle 3, that means if I just solve it, I will get angle 3 equals to angle 4 equals to 90 degree. Both of them are equal, that means it will be equals to half of the 90 degree. So implies you give angle 3 equals to angle 4 is equals to 90 degree. Okay. After solving we will get, because these two angles are equal, so it will be twice angle 3, then you will get 3 will be equals to angle 3 will be equals to 180 by 2, so we are getting 90. Okay. Okay. So up to this much it is okay. You see here, after that I can write angle 5 is equals to angle 4, sorry, angle 3 will be equals to angle 4, sorry, 3 will be equals to angle 5, because these two are vertically opposite angle. This angle and these angles are vertically opposite angle, these two angles are vertically opposite angle. Okay. So vertically opposite angle, so if angle 3 is a 90 degree, then angle 5 will also be 90 degrees, so implies angle 5 will also be 90 degrees, since angle 3 is equals to 90 degree. Angle 5 will also be 90 degree. Reason is angle 3 is also equals to 90 degree. Okay, so PQ is parallel to AC. So PQ is parallel to AC, that means PQ will be equals to EF. We have proved this one so many times. If PQ is parallel to AC, then PQ will be equals to EF. There you give it, although we have not given. Okay, so if PQ is parallel to AC, then PQ will be equals to equal not. I am writing. If PQ is parallel to AC, then PQ will be parallel to EF. PQ will be parallel to EF, you write, not equal. It will be parallel. If PQ is parallel to the side AC, then it will be parallel to this one also. It will be parallel to this one also. Now you see, so PQRF, PQEF. Okay. So if you take this one, if you take this rectangle, then what we are getting, that opposite pair of sides are equal, and one angle is equals to 90 degree, and one of the angle is equals to 90 degree. Okay, so angle 5 is equals to 90 degree. What I am getting in this quadrilateral PQEF, in quadrilateral you write like this. Therefore PQEF is a quadrilateral. Let me write, you will understand. PQEF is a quadrilateral. What is there? Having a pair of opposite side. Having a pair of opposite side parallel. You see, what we have proved, that this one is parallel to this one, and this angle is equals to 90 degree. That means, and having this a pair of opposite side parallel, and one angle equals to 90 degree, and one of the angle 90 degree, and one of the angle 90 degree. Okay, so if in a rectangle, if in a quadrilateral one angle is 90 degree, okay, then we can say that it is a rectangle. So PQEF is a rectangle. If PQEF is a rectangle, then this angle will also be 90 degree. This angle will also be 90 degree. Angle Q also will be angle Q will be equals to 90 degree. So in place of writing EQP, I am writing RQP. RQP is equals to 90 degree. RQP is equals to 90 degree. And if I write RQP, that means one angle of parallelogram. One angle of parallelogram. What is it? PQRS. PQRS. So if I take this whole triangle, I am erasing this thing, you see here. If I take this whole triangle, and I have proved that this angle is equals to 90 degree, that means if one angle of PQRS is 90 degree, then PQRS is a rectangle. What I have done, I have shown first of all it is a this parallelogram, and we know that in a parallelogram, if one angle is equals to 90 degree, then it is a rectangle. So after that I have shown up to this much, and I need this thing because I will use this one. Angle 5 is equals to 90 degree. I have used it here. Okay, so pair of opposite sides are parallel, and one angle is 90 degree. So it is a rectangle. And if this part is a rectangle, that means if this angle is 90 degree, then this one also will be 90. And if this one is 90, then in this whole quadrilateral, PQRS is a rectangle. Okay. Now question number 3, it is given that ABCD is a rectangle and PQRS are the midpoints of the side AB BC, CD and DA respectively shorted the quadrilateral PQRS is a rhombus. So there is nothing confusing. You just how we have done the first one. First of all, you shorted PQRS. You have to shorted it is a rhombus. So first of all, you just shorted in triangle ABC. You draw like this figure. Okay, how I have done the earlier one. You draw the figure. I will explain it. Okay, and not do this one. You just see here the figure will be like this. Okay, and what is there? It is like this. So okay, so now what like this. So ABCD given, ABCD given, and PQRS also given, PQRS. Okay, so somewhat this is not exact figure, but it is somewhat like this. So first of all, what I will do, I will draw a diagonal. If I draw a diagonal, this part is a triangle, this part also is a triangle. I can say that this one is equals to half of this one and these two are parallel. This one is equals to half of this one and these two are parallel. So up to this much it is okay. So after solving, I will get that this side is equals to this one and these two are parallel. After solving, I will get PQ is the so many sum we have done, 2, 3 I think, 2, 3 no more than that. So PQ is parallel to SR I will get after solving, and PQ will be equals to SR. So up to this much I will get. After that, what I have to do, I have to show that it is a what is it? I have to show that quadrilateral PQRS is a rhombus. So up to this much that PQ is parallel to SR and PQ is parallel. Similarly, if I join these two sides, you write similarly. Okay, if I join these two sides, then again for these two sides also it will be, what will be, you see here, if I join these two sides, then for this one also it will be parallel, this one and this one parallel. So it will be this I will get RQ parallel to SP and RQ is equals to SP. So equation number 2 also will be this one. So one we have solved this one, another one solving this one will give. So after that, what we have seen, that both pair of opposite sides are parallel. Both pair of opposite sides are parallel. PQ is parallel to SR. So if I just relate them, what I will get, that both pair of opposite sides of quadrilateral PQRS are equal and parallel. PQRS are equal and parallel. That means PQRS is a parallelogram. Now what I have to show, I have to show that the sides are equal. So now what you do, you just simply any two triangles you take. Let me take this one. This one you take, this small triangle you take and this small triangle you take. You show that these two triangles are equal. You just simply show that these two triangles are equal. You just forget everything and you just show that these two triangles are equal. Okay, if you can show that these two triangles are equal, then you can show that their corresponding parts also will be equal. So if these two triangles are equal, then I can say that this side is equals to this one. Okay, and if these two sides are equal, then similarly, okay, similarly I can write this one is these two. If I take these two triangles, you just write like this. After solving, after making these two triangles congruent, you write like this, that SP is equals to PQ. Okay, similarly you write, similarly you can write that if I take these two triangle, I will get you give this one as equation number 1. Then for these two triangle, these two will be equal. So it will be PQ will be equals to RQ. Then again, if you take these two triangle, if I take these two triangle, okay, this one and that one, then again I will get RQ is equals to RS. Then again, if I take these two triangle, I will get RS is equals to SP. Okay, and if I just compare all of them, then what I will get, all the sides are equal, that PQ is equals to QR is equals to RS is equals to SP. Okay, that means we can say that since PQRS is a parallelogram and all the sides are equal, so it is a rhombus. This one finished here. Question number 4, you see ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC and BD is the diagonal, and E is the midpoint of AD. A line is drawn through E parallel to AB intersecting BC at F. Show that F is the midpoint of BC. This one also using, okay, let me do this one. Okay, you see here, figure is given in your book. Okay, let me draw this one. So it is given like this: DCAB, and EF, and this is the G. Okay, so this is the figure. Okay, so now you see very carefully, it is given ABCD is a trapezium. Yes, ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC. Yes, these two lines are given parallel. Okay, then what is given? BD is the diagonal and E is the midpoint of AD. E is the midpoint of AD, and a line drawn through E is parallel to AB. And line drawn through, what I have given, E is the midpoint given, and line is drawn through parallel to this one. So what you have to prove? And AB intersected F, BC intersected F. So this line intersected this point. So question is to prove that F is the midpoint of BC. If this is the midpoint, then you have to prove that this is the midpoint of, you have to prove this one, that what? It is the midpoint of the side BC. Okay. So that means it is the converse. One theorem, so we have read that if these two are the midpoint, then the lines are parallel. Now it is given opposite. Okay, so we'll write it, no problem is there. Question number 4. So what is given, you write here. I am saying once you just write there. So given in trapezium ABCD, AB is parallel to DC, E is the midpoint of AD. Okay. EF is drawn parallel to BC. EF is drawn parallel to BC. Okay. We have then to prove AF is the midpoint of BC. Up to this much you write. Okay. Then join BD. Then you write join BD. After that, given part you write. Okay. Join BD. After that you write what is given in triangle DAB. If I take this part, in triangle DA and B, in triangle DAB, what I can write? E is the midpoint. Since E is the midpoint of AD, since E is the midpoint of AD and EG is parallel to AB. Since E is the midpoint of AD and EG is parallel to AB. Okay, so this is given in the question. So if you see the converse of the theorem, midpoint theorem, then you can see that if like this it is there, if E is a midpoint and EG is parallel to AB, then D is also the midpoint. So you can write therefore using the converse, of the midpoint theorem, using the converse of the midpoint theorem, so we can write that G is the midpoint of AB. G is the midpoint of, sorry, AB not BD. G is the midpoint of BD. Again in triangle, which one? The remaining one, that is BDC or CDB. What you write? BDC. Again I can write since G is the, now so we have got G, so now we'll use, since G is the midpoint of BD, G is the midpoint of BD. Since G is the midpoint of BD, so I can write that GF is parallel to, and GF is parallel to DC. How GF parallel to DC? You see here, AB is parallel to EF, AB is parallel to DC, and EF is parallel to AB, EF is parallel to AB. So GF is a part of FE, you can write, no? So from there I can write, and GF is parallel to DC. GF is parallel to DC. You can write your reason directly, so you cannot write, it is not there in the question, so you write like this. Since AB is parallel to DC, since AB is parallel to DC and EF is parallel to AB and EF is parallel to AB, AB is parallel to DC, these two lines are parallel and these two lines are parallel, that means this line and this line also parallel. Okay, so EF is parallel to AB. Okay, so EF and GF, these are the same thing because GF is a part of EF. Okay, so I can write again using the converse of the midpoint theorem. Okay, up to the same, then again I can write, erase this part. After this you write using the converse of the midpoint theorem. What I can write, that what we have shown, that this line, so G is the midpoint of BD. Okay, so that means F, so we can show that F is the midpoint of BC. So F is the midpoint of F is the midpoint of BC. So finished here. Using the converse of the midpoint theorem, I can write, after writing this one you write this line, after writing this line you write this one, F is the midpoint of BC. So here it ends. Okay, so question number 5, you see, question number 5, it is given, in a parallelogram ABCD, E and F are the midpoints of the side AB and CD respectively. Show that the line segment AF and DC trisects the diagonal BC. Okay, you have to show this one, the figure it is there, you just try to draw this one. A, B, C, D. Okay, so from A to F and from C to E. So I have to show that these two lines, this line and this line, they trisect this line DB. Okay, so I have to show that this one is equal to this one is equals to that one. Okay, that means DP is equals to PQ is equals to QP. I have to show that all these three parts are equal, then only it will be possible. Okay, so what is given in let us write. We have ABCD is a, what is it? ABCD is a parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram, and what is given, such that what is there, such that E and F are the midpoints E and F are the midpoints of side E and F are the midpoints. So I have drawn it not in a correct way. Okay, these are the midpoints, it is given, so it should be in the middle. So if you draw it nicely, so E and F are the midpoints of side which one, of side AB and DC respectively. Okay, you write it, so AB and DC respectively. So now you see, for this purpose what we are doing, okay, you write it. So these are the things given in the question, and there is nothing given about BD. Now given, show that the line segment AF trisects the diagonal BC. Okay, let it be like this. So you write, since the opposite sides of the parallelogram are parallel and equal, since opposite sides of the parallelogram are parallel and equal, since opposite sides of the parallelogram are parallel and equal, so AB will be parallel to DC. AB is parallel to DC and AB is equals to DC. AB is parallel to DC. AB equals to DC. Okay. So I can write here, that is you write AB is parallel to DC. So if AB is parallel to DC, that means AE is parallel to CF also. That is AE is parallel to CF. This is the part of this line. So AE is parallel to CF and in place of AB I can write half of AB equals to half of DC. So I get that is AE is parallel to CF and half of AB means you write CF is half of AB. So half of AB it will be AE. AE equals to half of this one. I am writing this part CF. So AE is parallel to CF and AE is equals to CF. AE is parallel to CF and AE is equals to CF. So what we can write from this, we can understand that AECF is a quadrilateral having a opposite sides as parallel and equal. So we can say that AECF is a parallelogram. Therefore you write quadrilateral AECF. You write it for quadrilateral AECF. AECF is a parallelogram as it has one pair of parallel sides, as it has a pair of parallel sides opposite, as it has a opposite pair of parallel lines or as it has a opposite pair of sides equal and parallel. The opposite pair of sides equal and okay, as it has a opposite pair of sides equal and parallel. So quadrilateral AECF, you add it will be quadrilateral AECF is a parallelogram as it has an opposite pair of sides equal and parallel. But now the question is not to show that this is a parallelogram. Here our motive is to show that this line has been trisected into three equal, that is trisected by this line AF and EC. That means I have to show that DP is equals to PQ is equals to QB. So we have shown that this is a parallelogram. We have shown that this figure is a parallelogram. Okay, this one is a parallelogram. Yes, you write like this. Since it is a parallelogram, so I can write since AE is equals to CF, since AE is equals to CF, AE is equals to CF, we have written. So now in triangle DQC, now in triangle DQC, you see here, in triangle DQC I am taking this triangle, this one. You just see, I am shading this one so that you can see this one nicely. I am taking this triangle. So here AF is the midpoint of this side, AF is the midpoint of this side, and these two sides are parallel. So I can say that this P is the midpoint of side this QD. Okay. So from there I can say that P P is the midpoint of the side. So since AF is the midpoint, AF is the midpoint of DC. AF is the midpoint of DC. AF is the midpoint of DC. Okay. Okay. If F is the midpoint of DC and this FP is parallel to QC, FP is parallel to CQ, FP is parallel to CQ, FP is parallel to CQ. Why FP is parallel to CQ? You see here, FP it is not given in the question, it is given AF is parallel to CE, AF is parallel to CE. So you write since AF is parallel to CE, so from there we have written this one. Okay, it is not there in the question that this one is parallel to this one. Okay, this whole line is parallel to this one, so this part will also be parallel to this one. So FP is parallel to CQ. So you see here FP is parallel to CQ. So in a line, if F is the midpoint and this is the parallel, so if I use the converse of the midpoint theorem, then I can write, okay, you write here using the converse of midpoint theorem, converse of midpoint theorem. Okay, using the converse of midpoint theorem, what I can write, that P is the midpoint of DQ, P is the midpoint of DQ. So I can write P is the midpoint of DQ. That means DP will be equals to DQ. DP will be equals to DQ. Sorry, DP will be equals to PQ. DP will be equals to PQ. So similarly, I can write for the other triangle also. Similarly in triangle, which one? In triangle A, this triangle you take this one. Okay. In triangle ABP, similarly in triangle you can write it as BAP. In triangle BAP I will get. Similarly in this triangle also I will get what? That BQ will be equals to this BQ will be equals to PQ. BQ will be equals to PQ. So this one you give as equation number 1, this one you give as equation number 2. So from 1 and 2 I can write DP is equals to PQ is equals to BQ. Okay. So after that you write the line AF and EC trisects the diagonal BD. Therefore the line AF and EC trisects the diagonal BD. Okay, trisects the diagonal, the line AF and EC trisects the diagonal BD. Okay, so now let us move to question number 6. Show that the line segment joining the midpoint of the opposite side of a quadrilateral bisect each other. Okay, so give me a moment. Very easy sum. Next one also. Just you give little concentration, you will easily understand. So you see here it is given, so that the line segment joining the midpoints of the opposite sides of a quadrilateral bisect each other. Okay. So let me draw a quadrilateral A, B, C, D. Okay. It is given. Okay, we have drawn it, so that the line segment joining the midpoints. So midpoint, let me give it as PQRS, PQRS. So let me join them. Okay. Okay. After joining, and let us find the diagonals also. Let us draw the diagonals also. So they are intersecting each other at what you have to show that the line segment joining the midpoints of the opposite side of a quadrilateral bisect each other. Midpoints of the opposite side of a quadrilateral, so that the line segment joining the midpoints of the opposite side of a quadrilateral the line segment joining the midpoint, not this one. You have to draw a diagonal. So this one also you give by dotted lines. Okay, this one will you give. Okay, so this one actually, this is the figure. So you see, I will make you understand. By seeing the figure, you may get confused. Everything what was there, everything we have drawn. The diagonals are also there. The midpoints are also there. So we have joined the midpoints. The question is to prove that the midpoints of the opposite sides of a quadrilateral bisect each other. Okay. So first of all, let us start solving. I'll make you understand. So what is given? We have taken, let ABCD be a quadrilateral. ABCD be a quadrilateral having PQRS as the midpoint of the sides AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. Okay, so it is given in the figure, and we have to prove that the diagonals of PQRS, the diagonals of the PQRS are bisected at O. I have to show that the diagonals of PQRS are bisected at O. So this is the actually the whole thing, the summary of the question, that I have to show that the diagonals of PQRS bisect each other at O. Okay, so you write, it will be better, or else you will not understand what you have to prove. So you have to prove that the diagonals of PQRS bisect each other at O. Okay, so for this one, what we have done? Construction, join. What we have joined? We have joined PQ, QR, join PQ, QR, RS and SP. Join PQ, QR, RS and SP. And also join, and also we have joined this RP and SQ. Okay, PR and SQ. Also joined PR and SQ. So this is what it is there in the question. So now we will start solving. So up to this much finished. What is there? We have just described the figure. Okay, so now I will go for solving. So what is there? Now if I take in triangle ABC, P and Q are the midpoints of the side AB and BC. So you take now in triangle ABC, P and Q are the midpoints. P and Q are the midpoints of the side AB and BC, respectively. In triangle ABC, P and Q are the midpoints of the side AB and BC respectively. So if these are the midpoints of the side, so I can write PQ is parallel to AC, PQ is parallel to AC, and PQ is equals to half of AC, and PQ is equals to half of AC. So similarly I can write for the other one also. Similarly we can show that SR is parallel to AC and SR is equals to half of AC. Okay, SR is equals to half of AC. So that means PQRS is a quadrilateral. So that is PQRS is a quadrilateral, that is PQRS is a quadrilateral having a pair of opposite side equal and parallel. Having a pair of opposite sides equal and parallel, but you can see here, but the diagonals of the, okay, before that one thing you write, what do you know that PQRS is a quadrilateral having a pair of opposite side equal and parallel. That means PQRS is a parallelogram. PQRS is a parallelogram. Okay, PQRS is a parallelogram. So now, but the diagonals of the parallelogram bisect each other. We know this one. We know that you can write like this, but the diagonals of the parallelogram bisect each other. We know this one, that the diagonals of the parallelogram bisect each other. That means PR and SQ bisect also each other. So if the diagonals of the parallelogram bisect each other, and if PQRS is a parallelogram, then we know that the diagonals of the parallelogram bisect each other. So you write like this, that is PR and SQ bisect each other. In a simple way, what we have proved? First of all, I have shown that PQRS is a parallelogram. If it is a parallelogram, then I can easily write that they bisect each other, because we know that in case of parallelogram, the diagonal bisect each other. Okay. So thus, what is there in the question you write? Thus, the line segment joining the midpoint. What is there in the question? That same line you write. Okay. Thus, the line segment joining the midpoint of opposite sides of a quadrilateral ABCD bisect each other. Okay. Last one, question number 7. You see, ABCD is a triangle given, right angle at C. A line through the midpoint M is hypotenuse AB and parallel to BC intersect AC at D. You have to show it that D is the midpoint of AC. So this one, it is very easy sum. Okay. So what is given? ABCD is a right angle at C. So right angle it is given at C. So CAC. Okay. This is right angle here given. And what is given here? That D is the M is the midpoint. M is the midpoint of the half hypotenuse AB. So M is the midpoint of the hypotenuse AB, and AB is parallel. Hypotenuse AB and parallel to BC. A line through the midpoint given. So which is parallel to BC. Okay. So AC at D, and this point meet AC at D. So question is to prove that show that D is the midpoint of AB. Okay, one thing let us construct here. This will be our construction part. Okay. So we need this one later on. So you write like this. What is given? That we have a triangle ABC. You write it question number 7. The first part is given. ABC is a right triangle at what is given in the question? The same line you write. And just starting given you write. Okay. Given part you write. Given a triangle ABC such that angle C equals to 90 degree. After that, what we have in triangle ACB. I will take. In triangle, we are not given this point. It is M. So in triangle ACB, I am taking the whole triangle. Okay, I am taking the whole triangle ACB. What do we have? We have DM is the midpoint of AB. We have AM is the midpoint. AM is the midpoint of AC. AB. AM is the midpoint of AC, and MD is parallel to BC, and MD is parallel to BC, all of these are given. So if a line is parallel, if the D is the midpoint of AB and MD is parallel to BC, then I can use the converse of the theorem of the midpoint theorem. So using the converse of midpoint theorem, I can write using the converse of the midpoint theorem. I can write that D is also, therefore D is the midpoint of AC. D is the midpoint of AC. So first one finished. Next one, you have to prove that MD is parallel to AC. MD is parallel to AC. You have to prove that MD is perpendicular to AC. So you see here, MD is parallel to BC. I have to prove that D is the midpoint, that MD is perpendicular to AC, and you see here MD is parallel to BC given, and AC is a transversal if I take, and AC is a transversal, and AC is a transversal. So if AC is a transversal, then I can write that this angle is corresponding to this one, this angle is corresponding to this one. Okay, so angle AMAD or MDA you can write, therefore MDA is equals to BCA, MDA is equals to BCA, and there you write corresponding angles, okay. Then and angle BCA is equals to, angle BCA equals to 90 degree. BCA is equals to 90 degree, and angle BCA it is equals to 90 degree given. So if BCA is equals to 90 degree, so therefore angle MDA is equals to angle BCA is equals to 90 degree. Both of them are 90 degree. Okay. So if MDA is 90 degree, that means MD is perpendicular to AC. It will be 90 degree even only if it is perpendicular to AC. Okay. So last one, Roman number 3. To prove that MC equals to CM is equals to, so you have to half of AB. So in triangle ADM and triangle, and which one we need? You see here we need MA. So to get MA I can write CDM and triangle CDM. In triangle ADM and triangle CDM we have angle ADM is equals to angle MDA, because if this one is perpendicular, that means these two angles will be 90 degree. CDM and MD is the common side. Okay, MD is the common side, and anything else, and yes, AD will be equals to CD, and because this D is the midpoint, AD will be equals to CD. Since D is the midpoint, D is the midpoint of AC. Since D is the midpoint of AC, so if D is the midpoint of AC, then I can say that these two triangles are similar. ADM is congruent, is congruent to triangle CDM, That means I can write MA equals to MC. These are the corresponding parts of congruent triangle. CPCT, MA equals to MC. Okay. So since M is the midpoint of AB, so since M is the midpoint of AB, so I can write AM or MA equals to half of AB, So if I give this one as equation number 1 and this one as equation number 2, so I can write from 1 and 2. I can write what I have to prove, that CM MA equals to MC. Yes, MA from both common, so I can write CM equals to what is given here, MA equals to half AB. Finished. Okay, so this is the end of this exercise, and examples, only 2 examples are there, 7 and 8. You try this thing very nicely. It is done here in the book. You just read once. If you don't understand, you just call me at night. I will be there to help you. So this is the end of this chapter. You just revise this thing, you practice this thing again and again, it will be clear, and if you have any doubt you can call. Okay, thank you.